Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Guys, on the table we have my absolutely awesome Team Corally Asuga XLR. I've really enjoyed using this, but I haven't used it much, and there's a couple of little reasons. And I'm going to be changing that up today. I want to say a massive thank you to Tyson from Garage Life RC in Rapid City, USA. He sent over some parts, guys, for numerous cars, and the Asuga is definitely one of them. I'm going to show you basically how we can improve the wing mount and also the battery tray on this, well, basically behemoth of a buggy. And I'm also going to show you that the battery tray that we're going to be installing today is actually going to fit on many of your Team Corally, so whether it be your Asuga, your Kagama, your Synchro, your Radix, your I'm trying to think, Spark, Python, many of the Team Corally cars, you'll actually be able to use the battery tray on this because they all pretty much use the same thing. Also, one of the main problems we have with the Team Corally cars, now look, I personally don't drive my vehicles as nicely as some other people, and I have had a few issues where I've jumped it and basically broken the wing mount. Now, I haven't actually done it with this one. So far, so good, and I will say that is, you know, I haven't actually had a issue with this wing mount. But on my Kagama, I did snap it. The Synchro, I haven't actually snapped that yet or anything, but fair dues to Tyson. He's done a few upgrades. So what I'm going to do now is show you on the table, guys, of the upgrades, and then we'll go from there, guys. And then we'll install them in the vehicle, and I'll show you how to fit them, and you know why I think these are actually better. I'll do your comparison with the batteries and everything else you need to know, and we'll go from there. So come on then. Guys, so on the table we have a selection of parts that Tyson have sent over for me. Now, Garage Life RC produce, they actually sell Corally cars, they sell parts for Corally cars, they sell parts for Traxxas, all sorts of different things, some armour parts. But what Tyson does do is he actually designs his own 3D printed parts. Now, as you guys probably know if you followed the channel, I am actually using on my EXB Kraton, I'm actually using one of his wing mounts, and it's absolutely robust. And this is what I kind of bought into him, and I really like the stuff he's producing. Now, on the table, guys, just to kind of give you a heads up what we got in front of us, we have got parts for the Team Corally Asuga. We've got the wing mount. All right. Now, these are not just generic parts. These are parts that he's designed himself and actually gone out and tested on his YouTube channel. I will put a link in the description to his YouTube channel. And he's gone out, tested them, bashed them, come back, feedback. He's got a testing team that tries them all out, a few people. And he's coming up with solutions to problems via 3D printing. And I like this. I like it a lot. He's not just copying the plethora of other 3D printers out there. He's actually trying and testing his own different designs. And awesome, absolutely awesome idea. He's also, so the idea is we've got the battery tray and the wing mount for the Asuga. We've also got the Tyson TLR wing mount here because, again, no, I haven't snapped the TLR's wing yet, but it is nice to know that I can install this on the vehicle and it's not going to break. We've also got some battery straps there for a mystery car, shall we say. And I can't really say what that's for. So are these for a mystery car, so are those for a mystery car, and so are those. And yeah, for the eagle eye view, if you wanted to pause the video at that point, you can. I'm just going to remove that. Now, I tell you what I'm going to do is actually, we'll get the Asuga on the table and explain the problem I've got here, right? So, really like this sort of oversized buggy slash, let's be honest, it's also a truggy. But part of the problem I've got here, guys, now just kind of pointing this out here, is the battery tray. Now, why? Because of the way Corally's actually designed this, I feel two things have happened. There are people reporting to break the battery straps. That's number one, all right? So battery straps, again, you could upgrade the battery straps. Tyson sells the Kevlar ones on his website. So you could install them, and there is a space for a third battery strap. But when using some of the armored vehicles that I've got, all right, they have this vertical battery strap that runs across the top here that holds everything in place. So the other option you've got here is this. When I'm running my 6S packs, as you can see, there's my 6S pack, just about fits in there. It's snug. I don't like the sharp edges on the battery tray. All right, now I could notch them, or I could, but you know, as you can see, I have actually strengthened my battery pack up and added some tape on the end just to stop any damage. I don't want to feel like that when I'm running my vehicle. As you can see, the wires are actually really, really close to the back of the battery tray here. Now, with the armor vehicles, because you've got this vertical strap, there's no need for these plastic pieces, these uprights here. And the other thing is you then, if you're going to run a 6S, and let's say you're someone like myself who also runs 4S, you've got to remove another piece of plastic there to hold it in place. Now, you could come up with ingenious ideas like a piece of foam or something like that. Like sometimes I'll take a piece of foam with me and I'll jam that down inside there. That's not really a problem. But then when you're bashing, that might come out, or you could, if you want to, run the actual piece of plastic that goes in. It is only 2 screws. But again, you go from, let's say, a 4S pack, you want to put your 6S pack in. You're kind of limited to what you're doing here, and you're also worried, like I can't lay this down flat in here. You're kind of worried to how you're going to run it. It's a bit of a pain in the backside. So now, I'll show you what I've done here. I also have my Synchro with me, my Team Corally Synchro. Okay, now the Synchro, I have actually installed the battery tray already. So let's just show you here. All right, so the battery tray, guys, as you can see, has got this vertical strap going over the top. Now, you've got 3 different mounting positions here, all right? So if you're using a larger pack at the end, but there you can actually use that. But you've also got your battery secured down like so. So you've got your vertical straps, sorry, your horizontal straps running across the battery, and then you've got your vertical straps that hold it all in. Now, the benefit of doing this is, one, Kevlar straps, all right? That's going to really sort of take some of the strain on an impact. Number 2, all right, it will allow you some give on a heavy impact, rather than having a piece of plastic that your battery is going to bang into. So really, really nice design. It is all 3D printed. The other thing as well is, for example, like on my Synchro here, if I wanted to use a larger ESC, all right, this is the Turox 135 in there, all right. Now, the problem with me trying to use a larger ESC in here is you have on the Team Corally one, got this piece of plastic, this vertical here, so you don't have any room to put a larger ESC in. Now, I'm not saying you should on the Synchro. It might be something that I'm going to toy with, I don't know, but this opens up a world of possibilities, and I think your batteries are a lot more secure in this fashion. Now, moving the car out of the way, what I'm going to do here, guys, in this video, all right, I'm going to install the battery tray in. So obviously we've got the battery tray, and I'm also going to install the wing mount. Now, there is a couple of things on the wing mount that I want you to be aware of, and there's a couple of different changes we're going to do on the wing mount itself. Now, I'm going to quickly show you the parts now, guys. So let's have a look. This is the wing mount, guys. Really, really nicely made. As you see, Garage Life RC printed on the side there. And what he's actually done, he's tried and tested this. He's actually removed part of the wing mount on the Asuga, basically to allow it to have a little bit of flex. So instead of, let's just show you where my issue is with the wing mount on the Team Corallys. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the cars, but The problem you got, as you can see here, is the wing is flexing, but the wing mounts are not allowing any flex. So what happens on heavy impact, the wing is taking all the brunt of, let's say, the car. Now, bear in mind, some of these cars, I think this one fully laden is around 5 kilograms. You got 5 kilograms landing on the rear wing here. Let's say you have an heavy impact. Let's take the battery out. Heavy impact, car comes down, lands on a wing. Right, straight away, that wing is responsible for taking all that impact. So it's got to have a give point. It's, you know, it's physics at the end of the day. But the beauty of this, with this wing mount here, all right, is what it'll actually do is allow the flex as well as the wing, and therefore you should break less parts. What I'll do now, I'll relocate the camera, all right, and then we'll go through the installation side of installing the battery tray in. Really simple to do, couple of screws, and you're over and done with. And then what I'll also do, guys, is give you a heads up on you know, how it looks, and I'll install a battery and show you and go from there. See what I say. Right, okay, guys. So what we're going to do now is obviously remove the battery tray that's actually in the car. There are 2 screws at the back here, the 2mm screws, but I'm going to worry about those in a second. What you want to do first is flip the car over, okay, like so, and there is. Let's have a look. Where are we to? There's a screw there, and I believe, let me just check. Yes. So, and there's also a 2.5mm here. So we're going to remove this screw, like so. All right. Now, when putting these screws back in, I would recommend you actually putting a bit of Loctite back on as well, guys. Okay. So do that. I definitely recommend doing that. Let's have a look. I want to say a massive thank you to Tyson, obviously, for sending a part over for the purpose of these videos. And guys, I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you obviously watching the videos at the moment. All the likes, shares and subscribes. Go on with the channel. It really doesn't go unnoticed. I'm very, very grateful and humbled that you're coming along for the ride. At the end of the day, this is a hobby for me, and I thoroughly enjoy having you come along for the experience. Right, now, okay. As you can see, battery tray has just flopped out, so that's awesome. What I'm going to do now is just clean inside here, so bear with me a second, guys. I'm going to pause, clean inside there, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, cleaned all the inside. Now, there is two 2mm screws located each side of the ESC here. All right, so you are going to need to remove those. All right. Now what he's actually done here, guys, there's one, and then there's another one at the back of the ESC here, and this will actually release the whole battery tray for you, like so. Right, okay, so as you can see, this is the battery tray that comes with the car. Many people use them, loads of people have, you know, but remember what I was saying to you about the bit of plastic that rubs up on the back of the battery? See how obviously this is really tight against your balance lead here. Now I could flip this around, e.g. like this, but I'm kind of left in a situation where my balance leads are always going to be in contact. So yeah, it really put me off, and let's be honest, 6S batteries are not cheap. So yeah, I'm gonna possibly reuse this on something else, or use the straps on something else, or keep it safe. What we're gonna do now, guys, is I'll quickly show you while we're here the new battery tray. Now let me move the car for you, like so. Right, move that. Move that, move that. This is the battery tray that Tyson sent over, Garage Life RC. As you can see, all made out of really, really flexible 3D printing. I think it's TPU, I think they call it. I'm pretty sure it's TPU. But what he does do, guys, is obviously these Kevlar battery straps as well. These are absolutely awesome. The strength on them, you're going to have a hard job breaking these, definitely. Really hard job breaking them. The other thing, what he does do with the 3D printer, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. See the brass washers he puts inside? Obviously, and then bulks up the bottom part. So when you put your screw through here, they tie in great, and those brass washers inside, obviously where you're fixing into, are not going to pull through. So yeah, really well thought about. The good thing is with this is you will be able to put larger batteries in there as well. So let's move everything out of the way. Get the car back up, yeah? Very, very easy to install, definitely. Okay, first things first, I want to just put the ESC back on the battery tray. As you can see, they're the screws now. One there. Oh, no, I haven't actually attached it properly. It's my fault that. I'm trying to do this behind the camera. It is hard to actually wrench behind the camera, guys. And I'm trying to change up my angles just so you get more of a view. There you go, that's one screw gone in. And this one goes in like so. Don't want to over tighten into 3D printed products either, guys. When it feels tight, stop. Right, there you go. Right, okay, now I'm going to run my wire inside here and back out, like so. Alright, and then we should be able to screw this back down quite neatly. This is really going to help with the movement on the vehicle. Let's turn it upside down. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there you go. Let me just check something because, yeah, so 1 for the ESC and then 2 for the actual battery tray itself. So I'm just going to flip this back over, try and make sure that I move that wire out the way of the spur gear. What I should really do here, actually thinking about it, is actually see if I can pass the wire underneath. I've been running it like this anyway, so I've got no issues there. Right, let's turn the car back over, shall we? Right, okay, so let's just add some thread locker to the screws. You don't want to go mad on them because obviously if you want to get them back out, I'd recommend you just add a little drop. Like so. Here you go. In fact, there's probably a little bit too much. And then we're going to plonk that back in there. That is one. And then take this one back out. There you go, guys. That is installed now. I've relocated the SE screw. I've tightened up obviously the 2 battery tray screws. Let's turn the car over and have a look now at the finished result, shall we? And then we'll move on to the wing mount. Right, upside down, camera around, there you go. So now, as you can see, a lot more room at the back of this ESC here, which in theory, to be honest with you, will actually help a little bit of ventilation for the ESC. Right guys, so we're now going to install the wing mount, alright, the Garage Life wing mount into the rear of the Asuga. You are going to need a 2mm screwdriver and also a little spanner or something, because there are locking nuts on the rear of these screws, so you need to kind of hold it in place like so. We're going to remove the screws because we're going to do away with the whole mount that's on here, alright? And we're not just going to keep and there's one screw just dropped down there, so we're not just going to keep the mount and then replace it with the top part. It's the whole assembly. So this is a bit surplus to requirements, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. There you go. And make sure you keep hold of these little nuts there. There you go. So that's the 2 screws out on the one side. And then on the same on the other side. There's another one there. And then just the one underneath. Now, that isn't the only mounting point, by the way, you guys, alright? So there are 2 more screws that you're going to need to loosen before you can actually get access to the wing mount. I'm just going to remove this now. Okay, so as you can see, that's still on there, guys, okay? So there are, at the back of the vehicle, I'm just showing you now, moving the camera about, 2 more screws underneath there, as you can see. One here, and one here. Alright, as you can see, guys, I have actually removed the wing mount. Now, what Corally have actually done on the wing mount here, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Alright, and these 2 here. Now you are going to need to remove these bottom screws out of the Team Corally mount, and then you're going to need to reuse them on the Garage Life. Now what Tyson has done is actually included 2 nuts to go through. Alright, so these are actually retained within the mount themselves, as you can see. Alright, so you can have nuts on the back end of the car on the wing mount there, so there's your mounting point for your wing. Alright, so reuse the screws. I'm just going to take those out for you now, 2 seconds, bear with me. Right, okay guys, so I've actually done the nuts up on the back with the screws. There's 2.5mm screw inside the back of the wing mount. You're also going to need to now re-add your 2mm screws at the bottom, which should be pretty easy because that'll actually tie into the bulkhead here. Right, okay guys, so just to show you, obviously you've got the nuts on the back of the shock tower, and obviously your screws coming through. The 2.5mm that we mentioned is the top holes, alright, and then the bottom holes is your 2mm screws that you retrieved from the previous mount. Yeah, so that's all gone on. Now, as you noticed, obviously it's not actually attached to the top of the shock tower. This is to allow for flex of the mount itself, so we shouldn't have too many issues there now with the wing. Kind of, it was too sturdy, if anything, the wing mount. At least with this TPU plastic, it should actually flex around a bit. Bouncing back to the battery tray, guys, if you want to have a quick peek, now I've got the other camera going. So obviously there's the screws that we mentioned for the ESC mounting onto the battery tray. But as you can see, Kevlar straps all the way around, really, really nice. No issues there. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to take the top part of the wing off. I'm going to reuse the screws that Tyson has provided with the washers that they've got. And then yeah, we should be home running now, guys. And I'll show you the final result. Okay, so we've actually got the wing separated from the actual mount itself. So there you go, guys. That's the part we've actually removed, as you can see. Too many break points for my liking on this one. But out of the two, the Kagama and the Asuga, this is definitely the stronger one, mind. But if you're going to be sort of bashing, crashing around, as you can see, all in one piece made out of bendy plastic is going to be a lot better. Now, Tyson provides actually 3mm hex screws, all right? So you are going to need the 3mm hex. Now, you can utilize these kind of washers here. As you can see, they are designed for countersunk screws. But if you turn them around, like so, and then place them back into the Team Corally mount, this part that goes on the wing, you should be absolutely fine for using like so. There you go, guys. All right, so I'm going to put that back onto the wing. All right, so welcome back. Let's just tighten up these screws into the wing itself. As you can see, straight away, it is starting to flex. So, reason why I put those washers back in, because what it'll actually do is, where the screw comes down, it'll spread the load across the wing a little bit. And that way, even though they are actually 3mm cap heads that you're putting in, you don't want to over tighten it, guys, because it is, as I say, TPU plastic. Now, there you go. Right, okay, remember the back of the wing was basically just the wing moving around. As you can see, now the wing is allowed to move under its own kind of, if it lands on it, it's not going to damage the wing, the actual mount will flex. Really like that design, hell of a lot better than what the Team Corally mount was. That, guys, so many people have mentioned about the wings snapping and breaking, and just a little solution like that. Look, we can actually wobble it back and forth, and it'll always return back to where it needs to be. So if you're now landing on the wing, like so, as you can see, it's flexing. It's actually flexing the car. It's allowing the car to kind of land flat and flex at the same time. So massively better. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Do you like that kind of upgrade? I think that's, just those two little changes will make a hell of a change to your experience, because you can be out and about, jumping about the car, racing, landing awkwardly. None of us are perfect. I don't care what anyone says. We all have accidents. Just that alone, when you snap a wing, it kind of puts a dampener on your day, doesn't it? And with the batteries, if you end up killing a battery due to the way the battery is positioned, or I don't know, it doesn't, pops out of the car when you have a bump. Again, we're not all perfect. We're not all Rich Duperbash and RC Dude 81. We do have crashes. We do have bumps. So those changes alone are really going to sort of help with the durability of many of the Team Corally cars. So little changes. Now, I am going to be installing the TLR wing in there. If you want to see that video, let me know in the comments. And the other part, guys, there's going to be a new truck coming to the channel at some point. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be. Obviously, I'm not going to give you too many hints of what it is, but let's just say I'm very, very excited to get my hands on one eventually. It's, I'm quite blessed to end up with this car, let's just put it that way. I will put a link in the description to all the Garage Life RC parts. I want to say a massive thank you to Tyson for sending the parts over. If you want to see more Garage Life stuff, remember, guys, make sure you comment down below, and there is a permanent discount code for the channel in the description. Till next time, guys, make sure you check the box for more videos. I'll catch you later.